Hey y'all, Emu here, and real quick before the start of this video, I just want to let you know that this is a part 2 of a special podcast episode that I did with my good friend JoeDaHo. I will link his channel in the description below, so go over to his channel, check out part 1. This episode is all about his favorite games, his childhood games, games that he loved from every console generation, all the things that made JoeDaHo, and yeah, go over there, give him some love, give him a like, sub. Uh, he's got a lot of really cool videos, a lot of funny. He does a lot more like kind of gameplay videos and like funny moments and shorts. He has a really good series in Sons of the Forest that he's doing right now, and he has a big machinima series set in Watch Dogs, and they're excellent videos. He puts a lot of love and care into those. So go over there, give him some love. Check out part 1 of this special podcast, and then come back over here and check out part 2. This was a very long video that we did together, and yeah, and feel free to also like and sub on my channel and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the games we talked about, and we'd like to maybe do another podcast together in the future, or maybe do some other special episodes together. I'm going to be featured in some more of his videos in the future, and I'd like to feature him more on my channel as well. So let me know what you think. Go show him some love, watch part 1, and then come back and watch this part. And I'm going to go into the backyard of Michael's house here, and I'm going to go back to the podcast desk, and we'll pick up where we left off in part 1. So see ya.
Call of Duty, specifically Modern Warfare 2 through to Black Ops 2, was like the peak era of COD, at least for me.
I'm an old grandpappy when it comes
okay,
to
yes,
COD.
I did play some of the old COD. For me, I was more of a Medal of Honor person back in the day, when it's like the old PS2 era. I did play some COD, but for some reason, this dad's girlfriend's son had a bunch of the Medal of Honors, so I played those. I
Right.
think it was maybe Allied Assault or something, the one where it's in like the snow, a lot of it, fighting
I
the
feel
old
like that was
Nazis.
kind of like that was almost like the Xbox family or PS family. It's like you were either a Medal of Honor family or a Call of Duty family.
They both had both, which is weird.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. At least I think Medal of Honor was on Xbox. I know Call of Duty was definitely on PlayStation.
Oh yeah, but I just mean like certain people only played Medal of Honor and certain people only played
But when
Call of Duty.
we're talking about the era of online Call of Duty screaming profanity into a microphone to little kids.
Oh yeah, Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, that's when it really blew up. Modern Warfare 4, or I'm sorry, Call of Duty 4,
me,
Modern
it was
Warfare.
actually Halo 2 had crazy lobbies before Modern Warfare 2, but
For my actual hands-on gaming experience, for me, Modern Warfare 2 was the thing. When it first came out, I still didn't have the console. The
1v1 me on Rust.
Black Ops 1 was the current COD when I finally got a 360.
Okay.
But so yeah, I was a tack knifer in Modern Warfare 2, and I still am when I go back on and play to this day. Yeah, I'm Commando Lunger. Oh yeah, that's me. Hey, at least I'm not one-man army new tubing or quick scoping.
Neither do I. I play SMGs.
Yeah, I mean, you play the game the way it was meant to be played, which I respect, but
I had Platinum on Modern Warfare 2019. I had every single SMG Platinum, and then every time they added a new SMG, I would get on just Platinum it, and then never play it again.
But I'm telling you, especially if you're playing with an old Xbox 360 controller, running around and stabbing people is not as easy as it sounds.
No, it's really not.
You have to actually dodge.
It was like getting the sword in Halo. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was. Yeah, exactly. That's a whole thing, and I still get a huge thrill rush, even still to this day when I play that, when I do that, because I still don't shoot.
I'm a panic knifer.
And every Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2, I use the guns, I level them up, I grind them. That's why I still play Call of Duty, because I like to grind my camos and stuff. I don't know why. I just can't break free from it.
I have fallen out of love with that series.
I understand. I actually think Black Ops 6 was a big step up. I really enjoy Omni movements. The campaign was fine. I enjoyed it. Zombies is okay. My biggest gripe...
I couldn't even start the campaign.
My biggest gripe with Black Ops 6 is the zombies has like little to no personality. It's mechanically it's
Mm,
sound, but the maps are just kind of bland looking. There's no bodies hanging, blood dripping. There's no lightning
uh,
strikes. None of that. I don't think any of them are set at night. I got to go back and look. Oh, Terminus, the second launch map is. But that's also like very Warzone-ified. You can get in a boat and go to like little islands and stuff. I
yeah,
don't like armor.
man.
I don't like the fact that your shots, like the points, don't really matter. The only points you get from killing are from them dying or from headshots. Melee doesn't really matter. Like it's too Warzone-ified. I like old school COD
Wor-
zombies.
World at War to Black Ops 3.
Exactly, peak, absolutely. Which is gonna for me my favorite my favorite COD for multiplayer was Modern Warfare 2 because of the nostalgia, and also it was just
Mine's
fun.
Black
So
Ops
many
2.
memes. Black Ops 2 was great. I played a lot
And
of
that
Black
was
Ops 2 MP.
also, as a huge Vanoss fan, Black Ops 2 was like what blew him up.
Hmm.
Right.
Modern Warfare 3. I think the best thing is the campaign. I didn't ever get too into the multiplayer in that, but it has a great campaign.
Which one? Sorry.
Modern Warfare 3, the original.
Oh yeah, yeah. That of the original three Modern Warfares, that one's probably my least favorite, but it was still very
Agreed.
good.
Yeah, it was solid.
Very good.
Um,
The ending of the campaign where you're running through
mhm.
with the Juggernaut armor,
And the riot shield and all that,
right?
yeah,
And
and
then
Makarov,
you hang Makarov,
and take a drag from a cigar.
and then potentially die.
Yeah, maybe. We'll never know. The world will never
Yeah, we'll
know,
never know.
especially
Instead, we'll
now.
just kill Soap
Yeah,
over and
we'll
over
casually shoot Soap in the head.
for no
Yeah,
reason.
exactly.
They broke the kill order.
Yeah, I mean, I still haven't played the Modern Warfare 3 campaign. I played some multiplayer mainly because they put
It
Michael
was so
Myers in
stupid. It's
it.
like
But
there was no development with Soap by that point. His death meant nothing, killing him that early.
yeah, I mean, Modern Warfare, the
Just
new Modern Warfare 2 had a good story mode, but they just blew it
oh
with the
yeah.
third one. Like it.
The first game was a whole bromance between Gaz
Hmm.
and Price. And it would have been so much more meaningful if Gaz
Like,
died.
yeah, I agree. Especially since
Especially since Gaz died first.
yeah, and he was a nothing character in the original.
Yeah, back then he was nothing. And now but then you get a whole game with him
Yeah, if you're going to introduce
in
Makarov
2019.
and try to kind of integrate some of those old game
Yeah.
story, why
They
do
introduced
that?
Yuri
Why?
in that one too. Yuri was in New Modern Warfare 3.
The only thing from the new Modern Warfare 3 I enjoyed was when the Halloween stuff was coming out and they added Michael Myers. There was a map that was a Halloween themed map that was like a diner or something. And there was a little
Oh yeah.
booth. There was like a little booth where the seating area in the diner where you could hide behind. And I would get Michael Myers with the butcher knife, and I would hide behind that booth. And every time somebody would come by, I would just grab him and stab him with the finisher.
Nice.
That was hilarious to
Ghosts
me.
had a horror map where you could play as
Yes.
Michael Myers.
Yeah, I saw that. Ghosts is when I fell off COD for a while. I fell off between
Ghosts
Ghosts
was like
and Black Ops
Ghosts
3.
was huge for me. I had a group of friends in high school that played Ghosts, and that's my favorite Call of Duty,
Wow.
which I know is super controversial opinion.
That's fine. I don't care. I'm just shocked. That's all. I'm not like offended, shocked.
I
I'm just
love the campaign.
never heard
See,
anybody say that.
when I like rank games or say games are the best, I usually go off the campaigns. I'm
Nice.
not a big multiplayer guy. But
Um,
I did play a lot of the maps on Ghosts. All the maps had like dynamics or were interactable in some way, and they had like a predator map where you could become the predator, and
yeah,
like
that's cool. I remember hearing about that,
it
and
was
I remember bitching about them putting Michael Myers in the game because I said, no, one day I'm gonna have to buy this game, and I never did.
yeah. Although it doesn't make sense, so they gave him like an axe and
Axe,
not his
and the
famous
map was
knife.
like a woods map, like Jason.
It was well, the map was very much based off of Evil Dead.
Right. Yeah.
It had a lot of references to tons of different horror movies, but it was mostly Evil Dead.
So I think
It had the chainsaw. It had the trees. It had the car on the edge of the bridge, and it was the same house. Like,
to this day the best overall Call of Duty, at least in my opinion, the most well-rounded one is probably Black Ops 2.
yeah, I would. If I mean, I love Ghost to death, but Black Ops 2 is definitely like,
And
it's definitely up
it's
there
funny
for
because
me.
I think I only ever played the single player through fully once, but that, in my opinion, probably had the best one.
I I love that single player to death. I've played it 100 times. I love that single player.
I do.
That
I
was
want to play it
Bla-
sometime this year
Bla-
because it's 2025.
Black Ops 2 has an even bigger special spot for me, and I think you know why.
Zombies.
Uh, Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh right. Yeah. No.
Black Ops Black Ops 2 was my first exposure to Avenged
That
Sevenfold.
was such a surprise to me when I saw them in there.
Oh, I know. And even the band thought that was so funny. They're like, "You want us to just ruin your game?" but then they used their song "Shepherd of Fire" as the opening
For
for
Origins,
Origins.
yeah. Which funny, Origins. This is my big Call of Duty Zombies hot take. I think Origins was the beginning of the ruination of zombies.
Yeah, I'm very back and forth on Origins. When it first came out, it was so cool, but then going back recently and playing it, it's just okay.
Like Origins is one of my least favorite maps, and one of my favorites, if not my number one favorite, is Transit. And the zombies like YouTube
That's a
community,
hot take.
yeah, and yeah, the zombies YouTube community would absolutely roast me for that. But that's how I feel.
Yeah.
I just feel like Transit is infinitely more replayable than Origins because I don't want to sit there and go through a stupid fucking checklist of doing all these stupid steps to get a weapon upgraded. I'd rather just sit. I'd rather go in, have some cool atmosphere, get my pack a punch and all that stuff, and then grind out points and deposit in the bank that I'll never withdraw. And I like the
I don't know if
denizens.
I ever
Yeah, I said
like the
it.
what? Sorry.
The denizens, I like them. They're not that hard to deal with, man. You just get some Galvin knuckles and
No,
you
they're
turn around
not.
and punch.
Yeah. Um, I don't know if I've ever told you my favorite zombies map.
I don't know. I'd love to hear it.
It just it just happens to have one of my favorite actors in it that is famous for being in Tarantino movies. Um,
Oh, I know where you're going with this, and this is often the one I say is mine as well.
this is I think a majority of people say it's their favorite, and that's obviously Mob of the Dead.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, atmosphere alone, it's got probably the best
Yeah.
like design as far as like personality and atmosphere.
Yeah. Michael Finn O'Leary
Yep.
is played by Michael Madsen,
That's right.
which I didn't know who Michael Madsen was when I played that map, but I became a huge Tarantino fan, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
And I love Michael Madsen.
It was
But
great.
and Ray Liotta is cool too.
Yeah, I knew all those
He was
guys when that map came out. But
yeah.
yeah, that one. Like if I, part of me says Transit just to be a contrarian because I don't think it deserves a
I
lot of
like
the hate it
Town.
gets.
I like the Town
That's what everyone says. They
map.
love the town section, but I like Transit as a whole. I like the
Yeah.
bus. I like the farm.
I,
I like everything about it.
yeah, I do enjoy Transit. I hate the farm.
Oh yeah, that I never go there.
But,
I just like the way it looks.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I like the power stage, like the underground when it gets so bright, like it's hard to see
Yeah.
anything. Like,
And the lightning zombie
yep, the Avogadro.
stalks you around. Yep. And trying to get pack a punch is like so difficult.
But I mean, my top three would be Transit. And this is no particular order: Transit, Mob of the Dead, and Moon.
Mine would probably be Mob of the Dead, Revelations,
Ooh,
and
I feel like that's a hot take.
really?
I like Revelations. I'm not poo-pooing it. I just
It's like all the best maps all put together.
it is. It really is. And it's got like if you're into Easter eggs, it's got a cool Easter egg.
Yeah. And trying to think of what my third favorite would be. I think it's a tie between either Buried or Kino.
Both are great.
I know
I love
Kino's the basic white girl of the zombie maps.
I think
but
it was like if you grew up during this era of COD, I think it was the majority of people's first zombies map.
it was my second zombies map because my first zombies map
Five.
was Nakdar and Toten,
Oh,
but it was
okay.
at a friend's house.
Oh, okay. See, World
Yeah,
at War.
I didn't own World at War till later.
I didn't even have an Xbox. I did play World at War when I was there was a different dad's girlfriend's son. Then we moved into their place, and he had an Xbox. He pitied me. They let me use it a lot. So I did play World at War, but I couldn't figure out how to play zombies. Like I knew this thing called Nazi Zombies existed, and I wanted to
Yeah.
play it,
Yeah,
but
that's what it used to be called.
yeah,
I really like Garut.
yeah, Varuk's great. I mean, my favorite from that era is Dries. I just love I love that Pack-a-Punch camo with the blue. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah, I used to play that a
Yeah.
lot.
I
I
think
used
I
to actually I used to mod that on the 360 with the
Oh
USB
yeah.
modding, and I would like give everyone
It,
Pack-a-Punch weapons and stuff. We just sit in the catwalk and camp, even though really there's no point when you already have everything to start out. There's like no gameplay loop, but it was just something you did.
Derice has a special spot in my heart because it was the only DLC that I could afford.
Right.
So it was like the only DLC map that
If
I got to play
Well, if you're only gonna get
for a
one for
while
that game,
before
that's the one.
I became an adult and bought all of them and got all the
Mm.
DLCs for all and played them alone because it was like 10 years after it was popular.
Hmm. I still go back and play occasionally, like once a year. I'll get on a big zombies kick and I'll go through each game and I'll play through each map at least once. Haven't done that yet
Yeah.
this year. We'll see.
I
Um,
also pride myself in being able to know all of the map names. Like I was able to I know enough German to translate all the map names.
nice.
So I will call them by their English name just to screw with people.
So I remember my first time playing zombies. It was on Kino. It was the launch day for Black Ops 1. I came home from school.
The
This
room, the pack when you go through the portal and you go in the uh oh what was her name? Samantha's like
Yep.
burnt room, that used to freak me out
Yep.
as a kid.
See, I never even got there the
Sorry.
first time I played. Literally this is my first time ever playing Call of Duty Zombies ever. I was like, oh, they have a menu slot for zombies. I'll go try zombies. And
Yeah.
I got hit twice and went down and was like, what? You die that fast? And then I backed out and went into multiplayer.
I sucked at it, so I didn't play it much. But now, like, Kina der Toten is the easiest map probably.
Ascension, I would say, but that's close.
I okay, I love Ascension, but I'm not good at it. There's too many doors.
Oh, dude, all you got to do is go up to that big circular area by PhD Flopper and just run
Yeah,
trains there. Especially if you get a thunder gun, it's
dude.
over.
In Kino der Toten, you can run trains. Once you get into the main theater,
Yeah, oh,
I have my
absolutely.
paths off it. I get up to like I got up to like almost close to round 30 by on my own.
Here's a little fun fact about the mechanics of original Black Ops 1 Kino to Toten. If you open up all the doors and you okay, except for the one by the stage, because you never open that one up. The one that goes up to the theater room, projector room, whatever. Never open that
Oh
one.
yeah,
That's just, you don't do that. But if you basically open the
that's
half
the
of the
way I go.
map, wow. I always go MP40 side. But it doesn't really even matter what doors you open. If you just walk along the map but don't sprint, you just walk, zombies will never spawn in front of you.
Really?
Yep. At least that's how I remember it.
Oh, weird. Now I will say when I get to high rounds on that map, it's in the Black Ops 3, and it's only because of my gobblegums.
Right, yeah.
Gobblegums are so broken. If you can get the one that gives you like all the perks.
Perkaholic. Yep.
Yeah.
Black Ops 3 Zombies Chronicles, one of the best DLCs for a game ever. At least for Call of Duty. How they haven't done that again, like since, is beyond me. That's just
I mean, I think.
license to print money.
I mean,
Forget these stupid skins. Forget Jay and Silent Bob and Seth Rogen. Just remake these maps again.
I know. Again, just keep remaking them.
I don't care. Just do it. I'll play
Oh, I
them.
know. Because they did remake them multiple times. Because they remade the World at War ones for Black Ops 1. And
Yeah.
I mean, they remake Nuketown every 2 seconds. So
Yeah.
I like Nuketown Zombies. I know a
I
lot of
do
people
too.
don't. I
I do
like
too.
them.
I prefer the original over the Alpha Omega and Black Ops 4. Which I barely
never
played Black Ops 4 Zombies. I tried all of them at least once, except for maybe Ancient Evil. I don't think I ever played that one.
I never owned Black Ops 4.
I was so hyped for it because it was coming off of Black Ops 3, and there was going to be 4 Zombies maps at launch. So I thought it was going to be really something they were going to expand and enhance on that, but instead they took a big step back. They completely ruined perks. That was the
Yeah.
first zombies where you could bring in a weapon that wasn't a pistol.
Nice.
And
I only know 2 maps from Black Ops 4. It's the Titanic one and 9, the Coliseum one.
yeah, those are okay.
I know the 9 mainly because it's the one that has the an Avenged Sevenfold song on it.
9 is a good map. It was a fun map.
And
Black
then
Ops
I
3.
watched.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I watched a lot of Vanoss Crew, and they did a big video on the Titanic one.
Okay.
And it was really funny. Yeah.
So Black Ops 3 was the first time I ever really committed to Easter eggs and zombies. I did all
I
of
never
them.
had enough friends to do Easter eggs.
I think the only one in Black Ops 3 you need friends for is Shadows of Evil. If I'm remembering correctly, every other one you could do solo, and I did them, and
Yeah, Shadows of Evil was fun.
all I got was a stinking RK3 starter pistol.
Uh,
But at least I could say I did it. And you know what?
Black Ops 3 had great maps.
Because of this Easter egg grind, the one map that took me the longest to get through, which is why I hate it now, is Gorod Krovi. Good map, great map. I will never play that map again though, ever.
Dude, the opening cutscene with Ace of Spades.
I know, it was great. Riding the dragons.
And the dead guy that they fall with that has the parachute, that is actually like a really important character in the lore of zombies.
Peter McCain.
Yeah, and his dead body is in
Shinonuma.
Shinonuma.
Yep.
I watched a YouTube video.
Mr. Raffle Waffles.
Mr. Ruffle Waffles. Yeah.
Alright, that's enough COD.
Alright,
I'll try speedrunning these, okay? I'm gonna speedrun some of my greatest games of all time.
Dude, I can hear the papers rustling.
Alright, so there's some of these...
I had a small document on my phone with like 14 games on it.
This is only 3 pages because I didn't enable duplex and print on both sides. Alright, so some of these are gonna be quick. Just want to mention, so similar to the concept of demo discs, Xbox 360 generation had a lot of demos.
Yep.
One such demo was for a game called Just Cause 2. That was a very cool game. You could tether things with a grappling hook and tie them together and basically parachute off of anything and grapple through the sky.
Yeah.
And like ride on the top of airplanes. Really cool. Just Cause 3 is a game that came out later on, hence the numerations. That is probably the best Just Cause, because you have a wingsuit. But Just Cause 2, I remember having the free demo for and playing it a ton, like an absolute crap ton. And then another...
I think there's a Dark Souls reference in one of those games.
Oh, I'm sure there is. They're big games. They need to make a new one that doesn't suck. Because Just Cause 4 sucked.
That's how I feel about most games these days.
Yeah. A game series that is going to have a new game this year, and it might be my most anticipated game of this year, is a game series called Mafia. And Mafia 2 had a demo. And that's another demo I used to just play the crap out of, even though it was short. I would just hang out in Vito's house and just drink his sandwiches and beers in the fridge, and then walk outside.
Drink his sandwiches?
Yeah. You had a fridge in that game in every one of your apartments, and there was like food and drinks in it. So I would drink his sandwiches and eat his beers, and then I would leave. Then I would leave the house, and I would punch somebody, get into a fisticuffs with them, and then I would walk across the park, go to the diner, and drink more beers. And also, when I finally got the real game, like the full game, and played it, it was really good. Great story, great characters, great gameplay. Love the lockpicking mechanic. You know, I just love a good 1911 in a game. You know, a good 1911 45 caliber. Oh, favorite gun ever. Amazing.
Duke Nukem uses 1911s.
Nice. Starting
They're
pistol.
golden-plated.
Most COD zombies. I like a good black.
Plated, baby.
I like a good black one with wooden grips.
I like pearl grips.
A little tacky, but I'll allow it.
I like Agent 47 Silver Ballers.
Oh, I like those too. Yeah, I do like those.
Hmm.
They're silver and they're balling. Um, so I already talked about Max Payne 3. I don't need to go into that. Quickly, another demo was well, this is kind of its own standalone thing, but there was a demo for it, and that's for Dead Rising 2. I think it was called Case
Huh?
West or something. I don't remember exactly the name of it.
Yeah. So there was Dead Rising and Dead Rising 2, and then there was like Case Zero, which was like
Case
a prequel
Zero,
to
that's
2,
what it is. Yeah.
and then Case West was like a sequel
Yeah, with Frank
to
West. Okay.
2.
Case Zero. I had
Yeah.
the demo for that. I used to play
Yeah.
that a
That was
ton.
Case West was Wes and Chuck, I think his name was,
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah. And then eventually I got the full game of Dead Rising 2 when it was free with Xbox Live. And that was I
Oh,
played the crap out of that too. They had co-op too, which was really fun. I think I had like up to 4-player co-op. That
nice.
was a good fun time. That was think the game I learned how to play poker in
Nice.
because it was set in a casino. It was either that or another game I'm gonna go back to, or another game I'm gonna talk about in a minute. Uh, so another game from this generation that was awesome, underrated, and really deserves a remake or a remaster is a game called The Saboteur. This is
I
a
don't think I've heard of that.
Okay, this is a game by the studio Pandemic. I think they made the Battlefront games. This was their last game, actually. I think they made Destroy All Humans as well. But this was their very last game. This game was set during World War II. You're an Irishman in France, occupied France. And so it had all those iconic World War II guns, like the Lugers and the STGs and all that. Um,
Mm.
and basically, it was an open world GTA-esque game, but with like Nazis and occupied France and a bit of Germany. And the occupied parts were in black and white, and as you liberated them, the color would come back to the game.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it
That's
was
cool.
really cool game. I highly recommend it. Yeah, and it's got that awesome like 360 era World War II game vibe. The only thing it's missing is zombies. Oh, great game. I love that game.
Zambies.
Oh, that game had a button. Its whole button, the whole function of this button was to smoke a cigarette.
Nice.
um. All right.
Really, Snake? Cigarettes?
All right. I'm gonna try to breeze through these ones. So, Xbox Live also had Xbox Live Arcade, which are $15 games.
Yo.
About
Xbox
they range from
Arcade.
$1 to $15. There were a lot of indie games on there. Now,
The blast of the past.
before Minecraft was on consoles, we had a game we would
Mm-hmm.
play called Castle Miner Z.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Castle Crashers. I almost got really excited.
There was that one. There was Fortress Craft. These were like the early state version, like Minecraft
Fortress
ripoffs.
Craft.
Yes.
Oh my god. Such a cheap attempt of
Yep.
knocking off Minecraft.
Hey man, if I could build the blocks, that's all I needed. And they had Castle Miner, which was the first version, but then they had Castle Miner Z, which introduced mobs and zombies and weapons. And I don't mean like you could get like a diamond sword. You had like pistols and shotguns and rifles. And
Mm-hmm.
the further out, oh, and if you dug down to below the surface, there was actual hell, and it had Satan down there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, and also like they added this later on. If you go out like so you get to around like the 300 blocks out range, there was like UFOs and aliens.
Wow, that's cool.
This is a really cool game. It's on PC too. So it's still around. Really cool game, man.
Did you ever play Brutal Legend?
I have it on Steam. I haven't played it yet.
You have to upgrade your car and stuff. You have to go down to hell to talk to the devil, and it's Ozzy.
Yeah, I know that. That's great.
Yeah.
So, Castle Miner Z leads me into a game that came out, I believe, around the same time as Max Payne 3. I remember hopping off one to get on the other. I don't remember which came first. This is a game called Minecraft Xbox 360 Edition.
Yeah.
This was Minecraft's introduction to the console world,
Yep.
and this was such a game changer, no pun intended. Like, this was like...
Achievement Hunter blew up because of that game.
Mm-hmm. This is the only time in Minecraft I ever ran into a super creeper, which is a creeper that's been struck by lightning.
Yep. And
And
they
this was,
explode
yeah, this
huge.
wasn't the tutorial world, the original tutorial world for
Oh wow.
launch Xbox 360 Minecraft, which doesn't exist anymore. Even if you get on an Xbox 360 and get on
Yep.
Minecraft and play the tutorial world, it's a
Yep.
completely different
Well,
tutorial world now.
they updated it, and the updated version actually had a reference to Achievement Hunter in it.
Oh wow.
And Achievement Hunter had a rule that if you found a supercharged creeper in a video, you won the challenge automatically.
Oh wow. Yeah, they're so
It was
rare.
the golden snitch rule.
I still have not seen one since, and I've been playing Minecraft since.
I
And this was like
think I've only seen
2011,
one once.
2012, I think 2012 actually. It was like spring. Um,
Yeah.
this was like we all wanted to play Minecraft. Andy and all of our other friends, like we all wanted to play Minecraft, but we didn't have a PC.
Yep.
We used to watch Chimney
Yep.
Swift. He had a show called the
Yep.
Minecraft Files, and
I was
we were
more.
obsessed with
I
it.
knew Chimney Swift. I was more into Ant Venom.
Mm.
He was like the big one before. He was big, and then he introduced everyone to Sky, and then Sky blew up.
Mm. The early days,
Caveman.
YouTube, gaming YouTube,
I really liked Caveman.
and so the 360 version was always way behind the PC version as far as updates.
Oh yeah.
So whenever
way
the
behind.
360 version got an update, it was like completely game changing. It would completely rework everything. They would have all new ways to play. When it launched on 360, it didn't even have survival mode. Like there was no hunger or
Really?
anything. Well, I mean, it was.
Oh,
I,
so Minecraft didn't used to have a hunger bar.
yeah,
Yeah. I remember old Minecraft.
it was that
There was
basically.
no hunger bar. There were pigs were the only food,
Hmm.
and it only healed your health.
I remember asking my mom to take time off of school just to play and I was in high school, by the way. I didn't need to ask.
Yeah.
Because what was she gonna do? Call the cops?
Right.
But I remember taking time off of school just to play the new Minecraft updates, man. And we had a world. Andy and we had a world with our buddy Mike. It was the Jams world, Joe, Andy, Mike. Even though Andy was the host of it, my letter went first just because I could spell jam. And we still play in this world. Andy converted it to PC, and he has a realm for it. So I can join this world anytime now and go back to my old structures.
Wow, nice.
And I started a mansion on top of a hill at the very corner of the map, because back in the day, Minecraft maps on the console had limits. They were like squares. You couldn't go beyond it. And there was a mountain right on the corner of the map. And I went up to the top of the mountain and I started building a mansion there. And I stopped for years. I just recently finished it last year. That's where my Minecraft kitchen comes from. That is my Minecraft kitchen in Jan's world.
It's still so funny that you released that like the day after Dream did like a Minecraft kitchen video.
Yeah, I had no idea.
And I thought you were making fun of that.
Nope,
it was so funny.
No idea. Don't know who that is. Literally just.
You don't know who Dream is?
No.
I thought it was Dream. It might have been someone. I could have sworn.
I
but it was like
didn't know. Like I was playing Minecraft with Andy, and I was recording, and I was listening around, and I was like, this would be really funny if I made a video about this kitchen.
Dream is like the biggest Minecraft. There were whole controversies about him. He's the guy that has like the white circle smiley face mask.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna try to keep this train going here.
Sorry.
So one last one before we move into the Rockstar games of this era, and that is this came at the tail end of 2012, and it ended up being my game of the year that year. 2012 was a stacked year for games for me. I had Max Payne 3, I had Minecraft Xbox 360 edition, and I had Hitman Absolution. But this game beat them all for me. This game kind of changed my life and opened me up to a new style of open world game I didn't know existed, and that's kind of the first person open world game. This game's called Far Cry 3.
Okay.
And this was crazy.
I remember when that came out.
I was like, this is like a first person GTA. What is going on here? And it was more than that. It was also like Arrow, the show. Like I was stranded on an island and I had a bow and arrow.
Oh yeah.
It was so cool. Yep. There were all these weird, trippy, like drug sequences. You can get a wingsuit. So it was either this game or Dead Rising 2 where I learned how to play Texas Hold'em poker for the first time. But I used to play it a lot in Far Cry 3. It also had like a map maker level editor thing, and I used to make maps in that all the time. Now Far Cry has done something similar since. I think honestly the only good one since then. Far Cry 4 was okay, but Far Cry 5 was also excellent in my opinion. I love that game. That had a great level editor. People have made some ridiculous stuff in that. 6 I did play. It was okay. It tried to do too much and didn't really do anything great. The best thing I could say about
Yeah.
6 is it had, for the first time in Far Cry history, like an actual city area. And that
Yeah.
would have been cool if they didn't close half of it off.
I can't really tell any of the Far Cry's apart, honestly.
I can, but that's only because I would call myself a fan. Um,
Yeah, I never got into those.
I don't hate Ubisoft games for the most part. I've never been a huge fan of any of them except for Far Cry 3, 5, and the first two Watch Dogs, which
I think
I'll
the
talk
only
about a little bit later.
only Ubisoft game that I like have religiously played is Rainbow Six Siege.
I couldn't get into that, but I see why a lot of people like that.
And I play as Sam Fisher sometimes.
Nice. Okay, I lied about
He's also in Ghost Recon.
this being the last non-Rockstar 360 game. I just realized there's another one on my list, and then there's another one I just remembered that I'm just going to mention really briefly, and that's Saints Row 2. That was a great game. That's the best Saints Row game.
I forgot to put Saints Row on my games that fell off list.
Oh, I fell off hard.
I knew I was missing one.
Hard.
I knew I was missing. I knew I was missing one, and I
And
completely
frankly,
forgot
as a
it.
fan of the series, if you ask me, it started falling off with 3. Like it really, and then like
Yeah.
4.
I just remember
Oh,
the giant bunny Easter egg.
but 2 was amazing, especially co-op, 2-player co-op with a friend. With your wacky custom characters, getting your apartments, like your Crazy Palace apartments, going through that story, it was magic times. But, okay, one last non-Rockstar game I'm going to mention, and this is a really special one to me, to a lot of people. And it's not the first game in the series, and it's not the last, but it is my favorite and the one that brought me into it. And that's Batman Arkham City.
Mm,
It ain't no place for no hero. Arkham City. This game made you feel like Batman. It did.
Ain't no place for no hero to call home.
Nope. It ain't no place to be Nora Freeze either. But yeah, this game was like this game was like the definitive Batman experience for the time. I do feel like Arkham Knight kind of ended up overshadowing it as far as like being a Batman
Did
simulator.
you play the Mr. Freeze DLC in Arkham Knight?
Yes.
I almost cried.
Yeah, man. Though that Arkham Knight's underrated. It's a really good game. I really wish that Rocksteady would have just made another Batman game because nobody asked or wanted a Suicide Squad game. At least not in that kind of format.
Yep.
I remember when that game was
Arkham
announced.
City was amazing.
When they announced Suicide Squad, I said, well, those are great graphics. I'm never going to play that game. And I never did. I only played Asylum a couple times. It is a good game. That's another demo I played back in the day. But City was like a game changer. I keep saying that, but it really was like it was the first open world like Batman game. Really, I mean there was some other similar stuff like Batman Vengeance back in the day, but this was like the first like real like.
Oh yeah, I remember when
Lego
City
Batman
came out
2
and that
as
whole
well.
opening sequence.
Lego Batman
Lego
2.
Batman.
Lego Batman 2 specifically was. In some ways, it's the best Batman game because you can go down to the Batcave, choose your vehicle, go out into the city to fight crime, and they haven't been able to capture that in any game.
I only played 1 and 3.
That's so funny. This 2 is to me the best one. I never finished 3, and I don't think
3
I even played 1.
you could go to like different planets. Like 3
Yeah.
was all the DC characters.
Yeah, 3 is like the Justice League game basically.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on here.
Asylum is still my favorite personally.
It's the most cohesive.
I like the more horror elements to it.
It's atmospheric.
And I like the feeling of being stranded on the island and all that. It was a very creepy game. And I have the Arkham Overcom jingle stuck in my head to this
Do do
day.
do do.
Yep.
Yep. Iconic. But yeah, I love flying around in city, doing the little grapnel boost, interrogating the
Oh
Riddler
yeah.
thugs. Like that was just on another
Dude,
level.
the Riddler trophies in Night.
Oh
My
yeah, I
game
mean,
glitched and I couldn't get one of them.
oh no.
In
Yeah, I
and I had
200.
already gotten like all of them.
I've 240% completed that game multiple times. So let me tell you, if that something like that happens, it's an absolute nightmare.
I have PTSD to those Riddler puzzles. I love the Professor Pig mission,
Yeah, cool. Underrated Batman villain.
but that's because I'm into all that like serial killer stuff.
No, he's an underrated Batman villain for sure.
Yeah, he was great in Gotham. Very different, but still cool. I don't know if you ever watched Gotham.
I watched like the first 2 episodes, and I was like,
I
this is not
highly
for me.
recommend it. It's really good. Professor Pig is playing Ave Maria, on a gramophone in prison, and when the inmates tells him to shut it off, and he grabs the record off of it, Professor Pig grabs it, snaps it in half, and slits the guy's throat with it.
My God.
Yeah.
All right, so
He makes everyone eat, like he forces all the rich people to eat, um the homeless people of Gotham.
my
He
God, I would have
tricks
done
them
it the other
into
way
it.
around.
Well, because he's saying like what you guys do has killed the people of Gotham, so now you're going to literally feast on them since you're financially feasting on them.
But he kills them.
That was
I feel like he missed the
well
point.
the yeah well he does, I think he does end up killing the rich people. But,
All right, well, I got 3 more for the 360 era, and they're all Rockstar games. I'm gonna go in order of release.
nice.
I'm gonna go in order of release here. Um, and I'm gonna describe a little bit of my experience with these games. So the first one is Grand Theft Auto 4. This might be still to this day the best one in my opinion, at least as far as just pure physics goes. G,
Fix that glitch.
yes. But I mean, no, like just like the gunplay and like the way your characters move and stuff, and I don't know. There hasn't been the only thing that comes close to it is the both Red Dead games. Because GTA 5 dumbed down the physics quite a bit, in my opinion. They dumbed down a lot of stuff from 4, but they expanded in so many other areas that they made up for it. But yeah, 4, the first time I ever saw this game, it was at a friend's house, a mutual friend of Andy and I's named Antoine. And he drove. The one before this, like that everybody played, was San Andreas, which was like a
Yeah.
drawing by comparison. Not only the graphics were crazy realistic, but I remember seeing him ride up a curb, actually hit the curb, and his vehicle moved and had weight and physics, and then smashed a fire hydrant, and it started spraying water everywhere. That blew our little frickin' minds, man. Like the fact that you could push people downstairs and they would just fall
Wow.
realistically. That's something I still do when I play this game to this day. There's a specific staircase in Algonquin, over in the north area where like Harlem is. That's a big ass staircase. If I edit this, I'll put the footage in, where I go and I push people down the staircase just for like hours, just because the physics are so entertaining to watch them fall. This is the big thing for GTA 4 to me is the physics, the Euphoria ragdoll physics.
Yeah.
Probably had one of the best stories for a GTA game still to this date. It was very dark, very grounded. A
Yeah.
little too much, I think. I think it put a bad taste in people's mouths, and that's why they kind of reversed course with 5, which I was alright with. But this game is very special to me. Like, this is the game I would dream of playing when I was stuck on PS2. Like, I was like, I just want a game where I can use the triggers to... Are you still in the game? Because it says it's going to auto-disconnect me. Damn it. Oh, I lost internet. That's what happened. Oh, time to go take a pee. All right, where were we? GTA 4?
I have no idea. No, we were past GTA 4, I think.
No, I'm pretty sure I was talking about GTA 4 still.
Bill? Thought you were done with it.
I had a lot to say. All right, so GTA 4, very special game. Story of trying to go bowling in the big city. My copy for 360, funny little story about it. At the time, I was living in a kind of like a rich area, because my dad was
Yeah.
like hopping from girlfriend to girlfriend, gold digging basically. And,
Yeah.
so there was this rich kid that I'd hang out with sometimes, and I convinced him to buy a copy of GTA 4 and then let me borrow it, and and then I ended up just moving away and I kept it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my copy of GTA 4 for 360.
His stolen copy.
Pretty much.
Fitting.
I know, yeah. And then, like, after that, I was living in a motel when I turned 16, and I didn't have access to to an Xbox anymore. All I had is my PS2, and I remember, like, for some reason, putting my GTA 4 in the PS2, like, desperately hoping it was gonna work. And it didn't. Ah! Okay, so moving on. Red Dead Redemption, the first one. Technically, this is the second Red Dead game. There's a game called Red Dead Revolver. I've never played it.
Yeah, it's a spiritual successor.
Yeah.
It's its own continuity. Although Red Harlow is supposedly a part of the Red Dead lore, like Red Dead Redemption lore.
I've heard people at
And
campfires talk about him.
There's a lot of theories and evidence for those theories that Uncle is Red Harlow.
Yeah, could be.
Is they
Both have
he has
Lumego.
he has the same handkerchief. He has all the scars in the right place, and he said he used to be called the One-Shot Kid.
Yep, could be.
Yeah,
What
which
a
is
twist!
awesome. I love Uncle. One of the voice actors refuses to acknowledge it or believe it. I think it's John's voice actor. There's no way that he went through all that just to become Uncle.
Yeah, so Red Dead 1. I remember when I lived up north from where we live now. And I was at a new school. I was a freshman in high school, and I didn't really know many people. So a lot of times I would spend my lunch breaks in the library. And
Oh, nice.
I remember reading a Game Informer article in the library about this new Western game that was coming out by the GTA people. That was like GTA in the Wild West. And I was like, oh, wow, that sounds really neat. And then the next time I go to Andy's Woody's house, he's got it. And he's showing me it. He's tying people up and putting them on train tracks, and fist fighting people and getting drunk.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a great game. One of the all-times, really, for, I think, a lot of people.
I just played it for the first time like last year, and it still holds up.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's a phenomenal game.
Story about a man with a scar and a license to kill and get killed.
Are you the wolf that gave him his scar?
I'll never tell.
I don't know, let's ask Arthur back there.
Yo! Arthur!
Marston!
Morgan!
Pipe down, Marston.
Yeah, I mean, what can I really say about Red Dead Redemption that hasn't been already said, you know?
I know. Such a good game.
I will say, there's one little more anecdote I'll associate with Red Dead, and that's back on the 360 days. You used to be able to like download CDs and put them on your console and listen to them while you play games.
I used to do that.
Yeah, and one song I always associated with Red Dead because it lyrically kind of matches a little bit was "Friend of the Devil" by Grateful Dead, and I remember playing that and camping up in the woods, listening to that song and thinking like, "Oh, this kind of fits." Yeah. I mean, not really if you really like look at the lyrics, but some of it kind of fits.
I would say a really good song that fits Red Dead would be "Strength of the World" by Avenged Sevenfold. I
Hmm.
recommend that song. It starts with like 3 minutes of just like a Wild West instrumental intro,
Does it have
and then the
whips?
whole song. Huh?
Does it have whips?
Nah, but then the whole song is basically about like an outlaw or a guy whose family was killed by outlaws, and he became an outlaw of vengeance, trying to hunt them down. And the lead singer said the song was kind of inspired by like Tarantino because it's very like story heavy, very dialogue
Nice.
heavy. But I think it's a good fit for Red Dead.
One last little anecdote about the first Red Dead. When I finally got my own copy, I mean, obviously I was a teenager at the time, so I had to have my mommy buy it for me. And she was like, I was showing her, she's like, "Oh, that's cool. It's like a Wild West game." I'm like, "Yeah, that's really cool." And like, she walks away, and then like, I call her back in like 10 minutes later. She's like, "Oh, what do you want to show me now?" And I had just finished killing like a whole ranch full of horses and skinning them.
Oh.
She's like, "What the fuck, Joe?"
At least the skinning was a lot less gruesome in the first game than it is in
Yeah,
the second
yeah,
game.
absolutely. And you can't skin horses in the second one.
Oh no.
You can't even shoot them while you're riding them. Which was like
Yeah,
when I
he was.
first played Red Dead, that was like the first thing I did just to see if I could,
Yeah.
and I immediately face planted.
Yeah, Red Dead 2. You can't skin the horses, but you can look at their dongs shrink in the winter or whatever.
Which is preferable. Anyway, that brings
It's
me
such an odd detail.
that brings me
They
to
were
my
really prideful about that.
a lot of developers got divorced over that. So that brings me to my last game of the 360 era, um, and this is should be obvious what this is. It's a Rockstar game. It is Rockstar Games is table tennis. No, it is Grand Theft Auto 5. Do do
I love
do
that theme
do.
song.
So
Yo, can a load come up in your crib?
yeah, Auntie got the ass. Uh,
Franklin, you didn't tell me you had a sister.
eh,
Go get yourself something nice. This is $7. I said
something
nice, not expensive.
expensive. Yeah. So that game, I mean, this is a game that obviously it's been talked about to death. It's still going.
Oh
It's still
yeah,
getting updates.
love it.
I just want to talk a little bit about the hype leading up to this game because it was unlike anything before or since, at least for me. Like
Yeah.
that first trailer that came out in November of 2011. Why did I move here? I guess it was the Max Payne in my bushes. Um,
Yeah.
that song "Ogden's Nut Gone Flake" by the Small Faces. Amazing. I still listen to that. Um, yeah, I mean, just the hype for the hype for this game and the build up was insane. I remember getting like just watching all the trailers. I remember looking at all the screenshots, which we still haven't had any for GTA 6. Um, I remember watching GTA 5 o'clock every week, just listening to these two Brits speculate about the game. And now I'm doing that again for a game that's not coming out for over a year.
Yeah.
Maybe. If it doesn't get delayed again, which it probably will.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I was never into like the GTA games growing up because I wasn't allowed to play them. But my first exposure to GTA was GTA 5. It
mhm.
was from watching like Achievement Hunter and Vanoss videos, and then when my cousin moved in with me, he had it, so I played it on his Xbox while he was at work.
Because of all
And
this hype, and all the speculation, I had like I had imagined like what this game was gonna be before I'd even gotten it. So it was like, in some ways it was really cathartic to finally play it. In some ways it was a little bit disappointing, and I'll talk about those things that I feel like the game lost going from 4 to 5. Uh, but overall, I think it's still a great game. Probably the best GTA game, just objectively. It's hard to beat nostalgia. Now this game's been out for long enough that it is itself nostalgic.
it's been released on 3 different console
That's right, yeah.
generations.
and on PC twice.
Yeah.
Um, so when this game finally did come out, I was 18. Um,
Uh,
and I got the collector's edition. I
oh,
got
nice.
I got the box. I remember coming out of the GameStop at the midnight release and somebody shouting, "He's got a box!" I was the first one to walk out with that. So Andy's Woody and I went to the midnight release for this. We showed up at the GameStop at 9 p.m. to wait for midnight for this game, and we had
Nice.
beforehand we had like drinking cough syrup to fall asleep and sleep off the day, so we'd have enough energy to play all
Yeah.
night. And then so we got there at 9. We weren't even the first people in line. We were like
Oh yeah.
6th or 7th people in line.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's funny because some of the people that were there we knew.
Yeah.
And then some people that we knew showed up, and we had them, stand next to us so they could cut in line. Basically, it was some really shitty thing to do. But
Yeah.
that was such an event, dude. That was like the only midnight release I've ever gone to that was like a party. There were so many people there.
Yeah.
They were selling pizza. There were people blasting music.
Wow. I think the only midnight release I was ever like able to go to was Gears of War 2.
Nice. The only other one I went to, I think, was for Max Payne 3, and that released the same day Diablo 3 did, and I was like the only person there for Max Payne.
Right.
I
Yeah.
literally,
Usually I wasn't allowed to stay up that late, so my dad would go
Mhm.
while I was asleep.
literally the people in front of me were talking about how they were there for Diablo 3, and they were like, "Oh, what else is releasing tonight?" And the other guy's like, "Max Payne, I think," and then the other guy says, "Oh, I don't think anyone's here for that."
Sounds about right. Sounds like the average Diablo fan.
Yeah, right.
I think the world revolves around them.
So when GTA 5 finally did come out, I mean, I played it for weeks and weeks straight. Like, the only thing that got me off of GTA 5 was when Arkham Origins came out, and I played that for like a week or so until I beat it, and then I was back on GTA. Because at that point, GTA Online had come out. There was a month gap, or no, it was like a 2-week gap between single player and the online mode. And when the online mode came out, it was an absolute disaster. You could barely
Oh
connect.
yeah.
Like, I couldn't even play with Andy
Yep.
for the first few
Yeah.
months.
You couldn't connect it. It was horrible.
And then I had my character reset too. But when I play GTA Online today, it's still my character from 2013. It's just
Yeah.
now he's bald.
My main character has like a goofy goatee with like a curly mustache.
Nice. Dastardly.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the online purely because I'm sick of, I always get griefed in like 2 seconds
Oh, yeah.
or RDM'd or whatever. When the casino came out, me and my buddy went to the casino and we sat in there for like 2 hours playing blackjack, and then as soon as we walked out of the casino, we got hit by a drive-by right in front of the door. And then we respawned, walked out again, and the same people drove by again and killed us.
That's a big problem with GTA Online. Nobody wants to just like this is why GTA RP exists, because the actual online is such a cesspool.
Dude, the RP servers, some of them are crazy.
Mhm.
I'm a really big fan of a YouTuber called Soup, and he goes on to GTA 5 roleplay servers with the pure intention of getting banned.
Hilarious.
It's so funny. He screws with the staff so much. Great. The problem is a lot of people know who he is now, but he still does it, and I cry laughing.
So the things that were somewhat of a letdown for me, going from 4 to 5, and even Red Dead Redemption 1 to 5, and even Max Payne 3 to 5 to some degree, was the realism elements. The physics were dumbed down substantially from 4. I mean, it still has good physics compared to a lot of modern games. It is still a Rockstar game, but the realistic Euphoria ragdolls were toned down dramatically. Like, when you kill people in GTA 5, they just kind of slump over and die.
Yeah.
It's not, they don't grab, like, in GTA 4, you could, like, shoot someone in the hand, and then they would, like, stagger and grab their hand. That's not like that in 5, not unless you use mods.
Yeah.
And, the fist fighting, I'm just, like, it is probably the number one worst thing of GTA 5, especially going from 4. 4 had a robust fist fighting mechanic where you could dodge, you could jab, you could kick, and there was some skill
Nice.
to it. There was some tactics to it. We had a lot of fun. Andy and I would just spend hours just fist fighting people in that game. And then you get to GTA 5, and you press one button, and you slap that bitch dead.
Yeah.
That's how the fist fighting works at 5. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other big disappointment too was, and this kind of ties into physics, was the car destruction mechanics. Also, to a lesser degree, the way the cars move. A lot of people complained about in 4. It was too boaty. It was too weighty. It felt like you're sliding all over the road. That's because there's a skill ceiling to driving a GTA 4.
Yeah, because when Achievement Hunter did so much stuff in 4, and they went to 5, and they went back to 4, and they said that they felt like they were driving on ice.
Yeah, because 5 is very it's very arcadey. It's very streamlined. Neither of these games are racing games, but they both they mainstreamed a lot of stuff in GTA 5 for the sake of accessibility and broad appeal. I do like the driving of GTA 5. I just wish it was a little more weighty and it had a little more physics to it.
Like, I just suck at driving in every game.
In GTA 4, like, when you drive down the road and there's like a slight curve or a pothole in the road, like your car moves with that and it has physics and your bumper like bounces and all that. Yeah. There's none of that in 5.
Wow. Yeah.
Because the thing people don't get about 4 is you can't just slam on the gas and expect to cut corners. Like, you actually have to like drive. It's not 100% realistic. It's a little too weighty. But you have to be mindful of the way you drive in that game.
Right.
But the big difference with the driving, to me, is the car damage mechanics. Even with 0 armor on your cars in GTA 5, they do not They do not fold and deform like they do in GTA 4. Not even close.
Did they remove the like the one-shot kill if you hit the gas tank, like in San Andreas?
Yeah, that hasn't been in any of the modern games. GTA 5 does have something somewhat similar. It's rare though. And
Halo 2 had that on one of the vehicles.
Nice.
Yeah. I hated driving the motorcycle in San Andreas. I almost like blew up.
They were even worse in 4. The motorcycles were awful in 4.
The motorcycle mission. The motorcycle mission which is funny because it's about a biker gang.
Yeah,
the motorcycle mission
better, but they were still kind of wonky.
Yeah, San Andreas, when you have to go through the alleys on the motorcycle and chase the guy, and it's I could feel the plastic panels popping out of my controller. I was when I get mad, like I don't throw or hit, like I squeeze the life out of my controller, and it almost popped out.
I broke a PS2 controller once because I was playing GTA Liberty City Stories. It was rented from a video store, and I was so pissed about a chase mission that I couldn't beat. I slammed the controller on the carpeted floor with my hand, and it just crumbled. Like, it literally just crumbled apart.
Oh. I know someone that broke an Xbox with their mind once. They were getting so mad, and he kept saying how mad he was getting, and then the Xbox started to smoke and catch fire.
Oh my.
And then, to this day, like that, we don't allow anyone to plug that Xbox. It's my cousin's Xbox. Like, that has to be under strict supervision if it gets plugged in, because it'll just start to smoke and steam and catch fire.
Yeah, probably.
It still works.
Sounds like it needs a new fan or something.
I mean, it's an original Xbox. Like an old Xbox.
Sheesh.
From 2003 or whatever. 2001.
Oh, okay, so you're talking about how you could blow up cars in San Andreas by shooting the gas tank. So there is a similar thing in 5. I've only ever seen it in single player. I don't think you're capable of doing it in GTA Online. But occasionally, vehicles will leak gasoline in GTA 5.
Oh, right.
And you can shoot the trail and they'll blow up the car. Which is a really cool attention to detail thing. All right, so that concludes the 7th gen console games that I really loved and held dear, which was a lot. Um,
Yeah.
I started out on PS2, and most of those games are very nostalgic, so that's why that section was so big. And we moved through the other big section, and now this is going to start speeding up a little bit as we move into the PS4 era. So 360, all of my gaming friends were on Xbox, but when that console generation came to an end and it was time to get a new console, I was focused purely on which console had the better hardware and which was more suited to what I wanted, as opposed to where my friends were going. So I ended up going with PS4. Because at the time, I don't know if you remember this, the Xbox One was being marketed as like a media center more than a gaming console.
Yes.
It was all about the Kinect and TV integration and that sort of thing.
Yeah, a one-stop entertainment system, pushing the browser feature and all the apps and.
And I also don't have a nostalgic connection to the Xbox exclusives like you do. I have more connection to the PlayStation exclusives.
Yeah.
But the funny
I
thing
think the
is,
only launch games for Xbox One were Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, and Unity.
there was a game called Rise, Son of Rome. And that was
Never heard of it.
kind of a cool. It was like a Roman Coliseum game. I have it on PC. It's pretty cool, but it's definitely not a console seller.
Yeah.
It's funny I mentioned that my connection to the PlayStation exclusives, but all the ones I have a connection to, they don't have modern games except for Ratchet and Clank, which is funny.
Yeah. I know. That's why it was when I did my Games That Died video, I was like, all those video games I talked about I grew up with as a kid, now let's talk about them dying horribly.
Yep.
It's all the same games, pretty much.
That being said, there were a few games from this generation that were really awesome. I already talked a bit about Spider-Man PS4, so I'm not going to go back over that one. I will briefly mention the God of War reboot. That was pretty cool. I've only played through it once, but I really enjoyed it. I thought that was fun.
I enjoyed watching YouTube videos on it.
Yes. I still have not played Ragnarok yet. I will get to it eventually. But I'm going to talk about two games real quick that aren't exclusives, but I played them on PlayStation. And the first one was the first game I got for PS4, so the first game I got for 8th gen consoles. And that was Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Yep.
The best Assassin's Creed.
I like.
The best one. I think most people agree it's the best one. People either say that or Assassin's Creed 2, which I'll briefly talk about.
I didn't like
AC 2. I didn't play it until it was free with Xbox Live. And I got it,
Yep,
I downloaded it, and I don't know what happens, because I did try the first Assassin's Creed, and I thought it was really boring. I couldn't get into it. So I ended up returning it, trading it in at GameStop. But Assassin's Creed 2, I got that for free, and I don't know why, I just really got into it. I played it, I stayed up all night playing that game.
Nice.
And I do like it. The Assassin's Creed can be very frustrating. I remember just screaming at Ezio for not jumping in the right direction when I'm parkouring.
Yeah. Yep.
But AC Black Flag, to me, is the definitive pirate game, except for Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves, it's really good. I don't know if you've ever played it. I like that game a lot.
Yes. My buddy almost burned down her whole ship because he left the stove on.
They have stoves now?
There's a cooker, a food cooker on the ship, and if you don't take the meat off in time, it'll burn, and then eventually it'll just set the grill on fire and burn down your whole ship. He thought it was like Minecraft. He thought it was gonna stop when it was done.
No.
And so we spent 2 hours running around the ship trying to get the water out and repair everything.
Hilarious.
Oh, it was. We only played it 5 times, and it was fun. But that's definitely the standout. The standout memory.
I do like Sea of Thieves. It's not on my list, but it's a good game.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag, though, it had all the best elements of Assassin's Creed at that point, but then it also was an amazing pirate game. So
I love pirates. I grew up with the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I love pirates.
Just
my great grandfather was a pirate.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna backpedal a little bit. In Sly Cooper 3, there was a level. I think it was like the penultimate level of that game, where it was a pirate town, and they had this whole mechanic where you could sail around in a pirate ship and get into sea battles with the cannons. You have to line it up and shoot the other ship, and it was basically like Black Flag before Black Flag. And then you could board the ship and loot them, and that was like
Oh,
a
wow.
really in-depth, cool mechanic for a Sly Cooper game. And that's basically the same thing as Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but extended and expanded and maturized. That's not a word.
Yeah.
But like it's like an adult
Matured.
version of that. Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
like murder. Um,
Oida.
And that was a really cool game. I spent a lot of time playing that game, and I was obsessed with the function of the PS4 where you could hit the button, go to the dashboard, and pull up an app. So like I'd watch
Oh
YouTube,
yeah.
and then I would double click the PlayStation button on the controller, and then I would be back to the game. And it's such a not like it's nowadays it's like, well, no shit, especially on PC, just Alt Tab. But back
Yeah.
in the day, that was just such a mind blowing thing to me.
So, I never had a PlayStation 4, but I know about like the touchpad, and I know about like the motion controls and stuff. And in Bloodborne, if you can automatically do gestures without pulling up the gesture menu by like hitting X and moving your controller a certain way. So people would be in the boss battle and like trying to dodge, fight the boss, and they go to pick something up, and because they're like intense from the fighting, they just happen to move their arm, and they would just do a gesture right in front of the boss and get
Uh-huh.
killed. They call them salty gestures. It
That's
happened
hilarious.
all the time. I would lose it if that ever happened to me.
I remember when like the first big PS4 exclusive I played came out, and I talked about this game earlier, is Infamous Second Son.
Infamous.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought like the touchpad was gonna be a bigger deal. So like, say for example, when you're drawing energy from a neon sign, I thought you were gonna have to like do like a swirl with your finger or something. But no,
Oh
you just
yeah.
press and hold it like any other button.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a waste of potential.
Um, all right, so this next game from PlayStation 4 era for me, it's also not an exclusive. It's on every system. It was the next big game that came out once I got my PS5, and this was a game called Watch Dogs. This is a
Oh
game.
boy.
Some people they only know my channel because of this game.
Yep.
um,
Oh yeah.
this is a game where you play as a chronically depressed man walking the streets stealing music off of people's phones.
Yep. He walks a lonely road. The only
Yes.
road he'll ever know. And
Um,
he cries about his stuffed sheep.
Yeah, well, that's my version. So the reason
Yeah.
Hacker Man exists is because I played Watch Dogs when it came out, and I enjoyed it. It's a good game. It is a legitimately good game, in my opinion. But it was like so self-serious. Like,
Yeah.
Aiden Pierce is such a wannabe Batman that I always felt like
Yeah.
that game was ripe for parody, and I just never gotten around to it until recently. And that's why Hacker Man
Oh.
exists.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for Watch. I'm gonna briefly talk about Watch Dogs 2. It was a very big tonal shift for the series. It was a lot more lighthearted, a lot more comedic, younger cast, more hipstery and all that. Set in San Francisco, there's a lot of color and sun. I really like that game too. I don't think I'm ever gonna incorporate it into Hacker Man. It just doesn't seem to fit.
Right.
But,
You were thinking about doing the third one though, right?
Yeah, so I've actually I have Legion on PC. I got it on a Steam sale recently. I still haven't played it.
Nice.
But eventually I want to do like a Hacker Man Beyond, and I'll do it in that game.
Yeah. The Crippler looks like a hipster.
Yeah, he is basically.
What's his real name? Damien or something?
Damien Briggs? Something
Yeah.
like that.
I didn't know anything about like Watch Dogs, and then I looked up the story, and I didn't know the connection between Damien and Aiden. So I think it's funny the direction you went in.
Yeah, I take some elements from the actual game, but I like to twist things around. I like to put things out of order.
Right. I like because they're like old business partners, but now in your version, he's just a guy you trolled on the internet.
Yeah.
Just a redditor.
Hacker Man's very sensitive. Okay.
Yeah.
He
Well, no,
misses his shipping.
the crippler was sensitive, right? Because the crippler only attacked him because he made fun of him online, right?
Everyone's sensitive.
You know who's really sensitive? Your sister.
Yes, her clitoris. I've got one more game from the PS4 era, and we'll move on to what I dubbed the modern era. My last game from the PS4 era is a PS4 exclusive, and this game is called Ghosts of Tsushima. I'm sorry, Ghost, singular. There's one
Ooh,
ghost. Ghost of Tsushima.
I would totally play that if I could.
This is an excellent game. This is an amazing modern game.
My cousin's 1-year-old plays it.
Wow. Well, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, and he actually kills things in it.
Nice. This is such a beautiful game. It's got a great story. It's great atmosphere, great setting. And
you know I'm such a From Software fanboy.
Mm-hmm. I gotta be honest with you,
such a Souls lover.
This is not Souls combat. This is more akin to...
Really?
This is more like Arkham, honestly. It's not as rhythmic as Arkham. Arkham? It's not like... It's somewhere in between.
Arkham!
Arkham!
I got a plan, Arkham.
Yeah, it's not... I mean, it's really not like either. It feels like Sekiro sometimes because you have a sword.
Yeah, it was kind of pitched to me as like that type of game. I think probably just because it was a samurai game that came out around that time.
Yeah, it's somewhere in between Sekiro and Arkham, I would say, as far as combat goes. But the sword fighting is so
Neo
fun.
came out around that time too, I think, and that was more Soulsy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can take on more than one enemy at a time in this. It's not quite Soulsy. And it's not as punishing as a Souls game either.
You can take on multiple enemies at a time in Souls.
Yeah, but you gotta be, like, good, though.
I mean, have to be.
It helps.
You just get a really big weapon and swing really wide. That's what I do.
Yeah, I love Ghost of Tsushima. It's one of the few PlayStation exclusives that actually makes good use of the touchpad, I'd say. You can use it to sheathe your sword or draw your sword, and if you killed enemies, and then you use it to sheathe your sword, he'll like do a dramatic animation to wipe the blood off.
Yeah,
it's like the perfect little capper to a fight.
Yeah,
it's kind of similar to like twirling your revolver in Red Dead 2.
Right.
You can use your like flute thing to change the weather. You can if you swipe down, you do a little bow to pay respects to enemies and dead people and stuff.
Nice.
There's also some like weird signs in the game where if you bow to them, like a bunch of animals will pop up, like a bunch of frogs or dragonflies and stuff.
Oh.
This is a game by Sucker Punch. It's the same developers that made the Sly Cooper games, so it's got some of that same DNA in it.
Oh wow.
Also the Infamous games.
That's quite a leap.
Oh yeah.
In development.
Yeah.
That's like Epic going from Gears of War to Fortnite.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. And if you want, you can kind of dress Jin up like a Sly Cooper. It's pretty funny.
Oh, that's cool. I love that. That's like there's a character in Devil May Cry 5 that has a robot arm, and you can get Mega Man's cannon arm.
Nice.
Because it's made by Capcom.
One last thing I really appreciate about Ghost of Tsushima is, while it is a big open world game with a lot of stuff on the map to go and do, it doesn't have like a big waypoint pointing you in your direction. You set your marker and then you swipe up on the touchpad and the wind guides you in the direction you go.
Okay.
And that's pretty cool.
Monster Hunter is kind of like that. There's like fireflies that lead you to your destination.
Yep. Alright, so moving on here to what I dubbed the modern era of games. I alluded to this earlier when I was talking about The Force Unleashed. There is a new series of games that I think have taken the moniker of Jedi Simulator, and that's the Star Wars Jedi games by Respawn Entertainment.
Oh, yes.
Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor.
I think you already know my opinion, given my game history.
Yes, we both have very big soft spots for these games.
Oh yeah.
I love the customization elements of your lightsaber. I've been itching for a game to have that for decades.
I just love having a purple lightsaber.
Yeah.
as you can tell by my character.
I usually go green. Sometimes I do purple. It depends on my playthrough. Sometimes I even do blue if I'm feeling really generic.
Yeah. I
If
love
I
the
want to do like
Jedi
a canon
games.
playthrough and like use his like master's saber and like blue blade,
Right.
sometimes I do that. Because I've played through Fallen Order like a dozen times. I've played through Survivor a couple times. It's a lot bigger. That's one of the only reasons why I haven't. But it takes that awesome Souls combat formula and applies it to Star Wars.
Yeah.
And there's just, especially Survivor, there's a lot more customization aspects to kind of make Cal your own. And I deeply appreciate that in games.
One thing I did really appreciate from a gameplay perspective for Survivor's the second one, right?
Yes.
For Survivor, is they don't do the bull crap of just having you magically reset to level 1. Like, you keep your abilities from the first game, and then they add on to it.
More games need to go in that direction.
I really appreciate it, because it's like, it's always dumb, and sometimes there's a clever way to do it, but it's just kind of lazy, where it's just like, oh, you got in some sort of accident, and now, like, you are back to level 1.
Like, why does Spider-Man need to relearn how to double jump in his third outing?
Yeah. I know, so I really appreciate it. And I also like that the tutorial boss is one of the harder bosses from the first game. So that, like, it shows how much Cal has grown between the games. I really appreciate those little details. Yeah, I came into those games from a Souls fan perspective and a Star Wars fan perspective, and I also like that they it also kind of felt a little like the newer Tomb Raider games, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, those are good games.
So it's like it, and I love Cameron Monaghan as an actor. I'm a big fan of both Gotham and Shameless.
Poncho.
So yeah. Oh, that interview where he kept mentioning the Poncho.
Poncho.
Cameron, shut up. He's like, what's the difference between Cal in the first game and in this game? Well, he doesn't have a poncho. Cameron! Dude, the Darth Vader at the end of the first game is the most accurate portrayal of Anakin in any Star Wars media ever.
That was a good one.
I love it. Dude, it's like, when you pull up his bio and it says, just run, you can't fight him. I love it. That, like, my cousin's a huge, like, Sith fan. He read all the Sith books, and he's like, yeah, that is the best depiction of Darth Vader ever in history.
Nice.
Like, like, based off the books, because the movies don't do him justice.
No.
Which is funny, being that he's, like, the main character, but...
last thing I'll mention about Survivor specifically is I love the inclusion of the multiple stances, particularly the blaster stance.
Yes, I used the blaster stance so much. It's like Bloodborne.
Yeah, it's like swashbuckling.
Yeah, it's really... I forget what other one I used. I think I used the Claymore stance too, like the heavy stance.
That was cool.
Yeah, swap between the two of them. So I could do, like, quick little maneuvers, or I could go in for the power, like a shoddy sniper, kind of.
I main just the regular single saber and blaster, because it's more like, I feel like it's a little more realistic.
Yeah.
But I do love the double sabers, too. Not the double-bladed, but the one in each hand.
Right. Like Sakura, whatever her name, the blue Jedi girl. Yeah.
Ayla Sakura. Yep.
Yeah.
Or, Ahsoka.
That was always fun. Oh yeah, I forgot about Ahsoka.
But she uses
she has like a Wakizashi lightsaber.
Shoto. Yep.
Yeah. And it's like lime color because she's almost Sentinel level.
And the
white lightsabers look sick.
Very, very last thing I'll mention about this game is there are certain I don't know, charms or upgrades or whatever you can put on your character. I forgot what they're called.
That's a very RPG thing.
But there are two specifically that make your lightsaber much more movie-like, where everything is basically done in one hit. I mean, you can die that fast too, but that's my preferred playstyle for that game.
Nice. Oh yeah, because it's like in the movies, people literally died in one touch of any blaster or saber, like, and it's like the fact that stormtroopers can take multiple lightsaber hits is just so.
Yeah,
I remember that was a
it's a
big.
laser sword, not a bat.
Yeah, I remember that was one of the big like, oh, what's the term? Like the down talks or whatever. I forget what the word is, but complaints, I guess.
Mm.
One of the big complaints about the first game.
Right. Yeah.
But I did love being able to run through a hallway and just deflecting bolts.
Yeah.
Like blaster bolts, like back and forth. Like it really made you feel like a Jedi.
Yeah, those games are great.
And
Really looking forward to the next one. All right.
Are they making a new one?
Yeah, they're working on a third one.
Awesome.
Next game I'm going to talk about here is a game you trashed that I love.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
Oops.
And I don't think you've even played this game, which is funny. But this game has a reputation in the industry for its disastrous launch, and every criticism it gets for this is totally justified, and I'm on board with. That being said, there's a great game underneath, and it's been fixed since. And now, if you had never played it and you were to pick it up now, it is a really solid game. At least on PC. I don't know exactly how it is on consoles, particularly the Xbox One, PS4 games. Those were absolute just dog shit dumpster fires. But on the next gen consoles, the Series X and the PS5, it might be good. I don't know. I play it on PC, and this is Cyberpunk 2077.
Yep. I don't think I publicly trashed this. I think I just trashed this to you in person.
I think you've said some stuff. I think when you talk about Edge Runners, you mentioned that the game is awful or whatever. Which Edge Runners, by the way, I've seen.
Did I mention Edge Runners in a video?
Yeah, your mall video.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep.
Yep.
Now.
Yeah, I played Cyberpunk when it came out, like day one, and it was.
Me too.
Horrendous.
I played it on the best possible platform, which is PC, with good hardware at the time, and it was still shit. And we had a mutual friend at the time, it's actually how we met, who was like, he defended it no matter what. And I would sit there and I would tell him, like, you know this is, like, inexcusable, right? And he would play it on, like, Stadia or something, like, streaming. And I would be at this person's house watching him play, and it would literally be running at, like, 2 FPS. And he was like, this is the best game ever.
That's like when I tried to play Witcher 3 on my laptop. Yeah, especially when you go from Witcher 3 to that, it's like, what happened?
Witcher 3 is a great game. It's not on my list.
Witcher 3 is like... Witcher 3 is probably one of my top 10 best games ever.
I've played all three of those games. So going from Witcher 1 to Witcher 2 was like a huge leap. And then from 2 to 3 was like an even bigger leap.
Oh, going back to 2 after 3 was so jarring. Because I never played any of the Witchers before 3.
1 is like almost impossible. I had to really take my time with that, but I'm glad I did because I really like the story and the setting in that game. I'm glad they're going to be remaking it. So yeah, I love Cyberpunk very much. Not just the game, but this genre and the world.
Oh, I love the genre. The genre is awesome.
I love the dystopian capitalist hellhole. It's like a warning sign, and idiots like Elon Musk think it's something to aspire to, which is why you shouldn't trust people like that.
No comment.
Yeah, let's put a chip in people's heads. That's a great idea.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not down with that at all. There's enough movies out there, regardless. Like
the point.
Like all those people, like it's not just Elon. All those people that are trying to do. It's like there are so many movies and games that tell us not to do that, and books.
It's meant to be a warning. It's a commentary. It's not meant to be something to aspire to.
Yeah, no. Like I understand the good parts of wanting that, but there's too many bad parts.
I'm not against technological advancement. I'm against dehumanization.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm also against, like, robots potentially going psychotic like an iRobot and murdering everyone. Yeah, I respect science, but I fear it.
Yeah, as you should.
Yeah.
So now going from a game set in the far future to a game set in the far past, we have what might be my #1 favorite game of all time, which is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes.
This is a game of games. This is truly a special
I have a plan, Arthur!
Everything down to the characters, to the story, to the graphics, to the gameplay, to the world, and the small details. It's masterful.
I love Red Dead 2 so much.
From the map painting-esque landscapes to
Yeah.
the little details on your revolver that you can customize, it's amazing. To the way NPCs interact, to the way you can shoot people in certain areas and they'll die differently, like they can slowly bleed out and suffer on the ground, or you can just blow someone's head off with a shotgun.
Yeah.
It was a return to form for Euphoria Physics and Rockstar Games, for sure.
I will say there were a couple things in the realism though that kind of like upset me a little bit. Like
it went hard.
Having to put on a coat when you go into a snowy area. It's like it's really like, come on. Like I get it, but come on.
I love it. I understand why it's not for everyone.
Having to brush your horse every 2 seconds.
I love brushing my horse. I'm a horse person. I love horses. I love taking care of my horse and feeding him treats.
Yeah, boy. Yeah,
watching his balls shrink.
Yeah. I love Red Dead 2. I love both Red Deads, but Red Dead 2 is so good.
Yeah, I mean it's tough to talk about it because I feel like it's been talked about to death.
Yeah.
What more can you really say that hasn't been said?
Yeah. Who is your favorite Red Dead 2 character?
I mean, I feel like it's got to be Arthur because you spend so much time with him. But I also feel like it's kind of a cop out, so I'll pick a side character. I have to think about that for just a sec.
I think mine's probably Sadie.
Sadie's awesome, yeah.
Love Sadie. I do love Sean too. I think that's the Irish in me.
Yeah.
But
I really like Charles.
Yo, Charles is legit.
Yeah, Charles is a good dude. He's like one of the few genuinely good people in that game.
Yeah.
Despite being an
Lenny was
Lenny!
good. Lenny!
Yeah, Lenny's great.
That's the best mission in the whole game.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I know it's been said 100 times, but that's the best mission in the whole game. Love the voice actor. Like, whenever he does a YouTube video, he ends with like screaming Lenny. Like,
nice.
Yeah, Roger Clark. He's actually Irish in real life.
Yep.
I don't know how much you know.
Yep, I've seen him speak.
But yeah, he's always, every time he's in a YouTube video, he just starts, "Howdy, cowpoke." It's just funny because it's what Micah calls him in the first half of the game.
All right.
until he becomes Black Lung.
Black Lung. That's another thing about that game too. The multiple endings.
He's very perceptive. He caught on Arthur having Black Lung immediately before anyone else.
Yeah.
I really actually like Micah as a character. I know everyone just loves to hate him, but his de-evolution throughout the games or whatever, throughout the game, like, he's actually a really well-written character, which is probably why people hate him so much.
Well, he's really hateable.
Because he's like, yeah, but is like in the first half of the game though, it's like I really liked him because he was that wild card character that, like, yeah, he does a lot of unsavory things, but it's kind of fun. And then he becomes like an actual like jerk later on and like actually evil. But in the first half of the game, he was like the lovable asshole. And yeah, I like that character a lot more than other people seem to.
I like how well written he is. I like that he does have some humanity to him. But
yeah.
At the same time, he's a character you're supposed to hate.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
All right, I've got 2 more games on my list.
Right.
These are both smaller games. They're games you can only get on PC. I'm not sure which one to talk about first.
I think I know which one you're gonna say. One of them.
All right, well, you go ahead and lead into it then.
A game about dealing drugs.
No, actually, that's not on this list.
Oh.
I do like Schedule 1. It's a little too early to be putting that on a list, I think. I burnt out on that game
I think
fast.
I know which one. So
No pun
okay,
intended.
I know which one now. It's where you're currently looking for Andy.
Yes. Yes, it's
Yeah,
a small island in
who's already
Canada.
been found.
Oh, but we need to solve this mystery.
You need to solve the mystery of the guy duplicating himself.
Indeed.
The guy in the helicopter whose name I already forgot.
Fisheye. Fisheye! Now, Sons of the Forest, man. This I don't. So I played the first Forest back in the day when it was early access, and I played it through till its completion. When it was updated and stuff. I played it with friends and stuff. It was a good game. I love that game. It is, but it wasn't like one of my all-time faves. I don't know why. For some reason, when Sons came out, it just grabbed me by the boo-boo and never let go.
It's a freaky game.
It is. It's not as
And
scary
I
as
respect
the
the
first
horror
one.
aspects.
It's definitely nowhere near as scary as the first Forest. Probably because you have guns. That's probably what it is.
Just like the people with multiple limbs and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's freaky. I will say I don't like survival games, but I do respect the ones that have more of a horror edge. Like I always hear I remember I always see Subnautica on every like survival horror list. And I was like, what? How is this a survival game on a survival horror list? Like, what's scary about just swimming around in the ocean? And then I looked into it. I'm like, oh, that's actually cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sons is another one of those that I didn't realize that it was like meant to be kind of a horror game. Because, I mean, I've never shied away from talking about it that survival games are probably one of my least favorite genres, at least bottom 5.
I get it.
But
They're not for everybody.
I've played a lot of them.
I'm not
Like I don't just hate on them. I've played a lot of them.
I don't play exclusively survival games. Like there's actually very few that I do play. At least consistently.
My cousins are huge survival game fans, and they're always trying to get me to play them with them.
But like I said, once it dropped in early access, I played it for like a week with my friends. Maybe it's because I had COVID when I played this. Maybe it was something with the COVID and the game that changed the chemistry of my brain. But I like it. It really hooked itself into me, and it's one of those games I think about often, and I just can't stay away from, even though I've played it to the point of like boredom at this point.
Right? Yeah.
I think I have like almost 900 hours in that game or something. It's one of my top played games on Steam.
I have a week in Gmod. And I got an achievement that said you wasted a week of your life.
I saw that, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was in a video.
Yeah, it happened while you were recording a video.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so when it first came out, I played it for like a week with some friends. And then they stopped playing, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna start again on my own and make it like a true like survival thing. And something about like living off the land in this game, like it's like you're camping, I guess. It feels good,
camping.
and then like building your own home and your own forts and your own like camp and all that stuff, and then slowly progressing through the actual I guess story of it all and getting better equipment like a rope gun. Some other like furniture items, teleporter, an artifact that turns things gold, a katana, things that make the game like somewhat easier. But I don't know, maybe it's the fact that in this game I can actually work hard and earn a home, unlike real life. I think that maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
A game where hard work pays off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Sons of the Forest. We're gonna find Andy's Woody. Have you checked in his pants? Alright, so that's Sons of the Forest. Moving on to my very final game I have to talk about, and the games that made JoeDaHo a JoeDaHo. This is
JoeDaHo.
This is a Steam game. It's an early access Steam game. It's still in early access. It might never be fully released. This is a game called Mon Bazou. Have you ever heard of it?
Never heard of it. I don't even know what you just said.
It's French Canadian for My Clunker.
My Clunker?
Clunker, like a car, like a beat up
Clunker. Okay, I thought you said Clucker. I thought it was a chicken game. I thought we were going to Chicken Town.
No.
Mr. Cookie.
So yeah, Mon Bazoo. This is a game about living in Canada in the year 2005 and making maple syrup.
Oh
And
boy.
it's selling it to the Maple Syrup Federation of Canada, which is a real thing.
Really?
Yes, that's in Canada. If you make maple syrup, you have to sell it to the Maple Syrup Federation, and they pay you like I believe like stipends or dividends for how much maple syrup you give them, because that's a big industry in Canada.
Oh yeah.
It's on the flag. See?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Did you hear about the maple syrup flood in Boston in like the 80s or whatever
I think
that
it was
like killed like a
molasses.
ton of people? Yeah.
Yeah, which is similar. Um,
Yeah.
but
It's like brown sugary syrup.
In Monbazoo, not only can you make maple syrup, but you can chop wood, you
Oh.
can sell the wood, you can grow
Oh.
trees, you can
Oh.
grow green trees, marijuana, and sell that,
Of course.
and you can smoke it, and uh,
It always comes back to pot with you.
it's funny because I don't smoke anymore, but
I know. And it's
um,
awesome.
it's all right. At Monbazoo, and this is why it's called Monbazoo, you also can work on a car. You can work on your car, and you can upgrade it, and like you literally have to like do like each bolt individually and all that. Like it's
Oh
detailed.
wow.
It's not as detailed as a game called My Summer Car, where you actually have to put the engine together piece by piece by piece, and then put it into the car and all
Ugh.
that. But it's like a lighter version of that game. This is a game I've spent hundreds of hours in because I just like to. It's my chill, peaceful game. It's I guess it's a similar thing to what I said about Sons of the Forest, where you can work hard to earn something. It's like I'm starting my own business in this game, and I reap the rewards, and I get to work on a passion project on the downtime and all that, and it's like managing time and supplies and that sort of thing. It's a lot of fun. I don't.
Yeah.
It's definitely not for everybody. The graphics are almost non-existent, but I really enjoy that game. That is, it's become one of my favorite games of all time, probably. Mon Bazoo.
Nice.
And I think that brings us to the end. That's the last of my papers.
That's quite a list.
How do we end these?